Hello everyone, I am Abinaya, Assistant Professor at Dr. SNS College of Education, Coimbatore. So in part 1, we have explored what alternative energy is. Welcome to part 2. Now we will be discussing about the various types of alternative energy resources. So we explored the alternative energy definition, its importance and how it differs from traditional fossil fuels. And then we discussed about the solar and uh, wind energy in part 1. In this video, let us dive deeper into other types of alternative energy resources like tidal energy, hydropower energy and geothermal energy in detail. Let us get into the video. Here is the small recap of definition of alternative energy resources. So alternative energy resources are those energy sources that are not based on fossil fuels. So what are fossil fuels? We say coal, petroleum, diesel, all these things comes under fossil fuels. So these are not based on fossil fuels and instead they are clean, renewable and environment friendly. So we call them as non-conventional or renewable energy sources because they come from natural processes like sunlight, wind, water flow, or even from the heat from the earth's surface. So hydropower energy. Hydropower uses the energy of moving water from rivers, dams or waterfalls. So water flows through turbines which spin to produce electricity. Major dams like the Bakranangal in India, they generate huge amounts of hydropower. So when you take the advantages, there are many advantages under this hydropower. It is very efficient and it is reliable, and dams can store water for irrigation and drinking purposes. So no fuel is required obviously. So what are the challenges? What are the disadvantages? Building dams is expensive. So it affects fish and river ecosystems. So people may have to be displaced for dam construction. So these are some challenges under this hydropower. So despite this, hydropower is a major source of clean electricity in many countries across the world. Geothermal energy. So geothermal energy is generated from the heat inside the earth. So in volcanic or tectonic areas, the heat is close to the surface. We drill deep into the earth to release the steam or hot water, which spins the turbines. So countries like Iceland, New Zealand and the US use a lot of geothermal energy. There are three main types of geothermal power plant systems. The first one is dry steam plants. They use steam directly from underground to turn the turbines. And this is the oldest and simplest form. The next type is the flash steam plants. They pull the high pressure hot water from deep in the earth, which flashes onto the steam to turn the turbines. And then the binary cycle plants, they transfer the heat from geothermal water to another fluid with a low boiling point, and this second fluid, it vaporizes and spins the turbine. So these are the three main types of geothermal power plant systems. So where it is used? So when you take Iceland, it gets more than 25% of its electricity from geothermal energy, and the United States, Philippines, Indonesia, New Zealand, Kenya and Japan, they are also leading producers of geothermal energy. When you take India, a region like Ladakh in Himachal Pradesh, they show geothermal potential. There are many advantages like it is renewable and sustainable. The earth's heat is constantly produced, so it won't run out anytime soon, and it is environment friendly, very low greenhouse gas emissions compared to fossil fuels, and it is unlike solar or wind. Geothermal doesn't depend upon weather. It is a base load power source, meaning it runs continuously. And when you take the operating cost, it has very low operating cost. Once it is set up, the plants, they run with minimal amount. There are few limitations like high initial cost. So drilling deep into the earth and setting up plants is expensive, and it is very specific to one particular location. Most geothermal sites are located in volcanic or tectonic areas only, and it is not easy, and not every country has the access. Risk of earthquakes in rare cases is possible, and drilling and water injection can trigger seismic activities. So these are the limitations. Tidal energy. The tidal energy comes from the rise and fall of ocean tides due to the moon's gravity. So we build underwater turbines or barrages to capture this energy, and it is predictable because tides follow a schedule. There are many advantages, that is, it is clean and reliable, and it is renewable. It is useful for coastal countries. So what could be the challenges? It is very expensive to set up, and it can disturb marine life and fish movement. So tidal energy is still in the experimental stage in many countries across the world. As we come to the end of our video on alternative energy resources, one thing is very clear. Our future depends upon how wisely we use our energy today. So fossil fuels like coal, oil and natural gas, they have powered the world for centuries, but they come at a high cost: pollution, climate change, resource depletion and health hazards. So these traditional sources are finite and will not last forever. So on the other hand, alternative energy resources such as solar energy, wind energy, hydro, geothermal, tidal, they offer us a cleaner, greener and more sustainable path forward. So when you take these sources, these are naturally replenished and they produce little or no pollution and reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. However, no single energy source is perfect. So each has its own advantages and limitations. So whether it may be cost, location, dependency or technological challenges, the key lies in adopting a balanced energy mix and continuously improving our technologies and infrastructure. So as we are talking about energy resources, so switching to alternative energy is not just an option, it is a necessity. So it is only way we can protect our planet, we can reduce the carbon footprints and ensure a better life for future generations. So let's not wait, let's act, and because the power to change the world is in our hands. So thank you. Let's move forward towards a brighter, cleaner future powered by alternative energy. Thank you.